Hey folks, it's Soul with another video, and we're going to go over the big old World of Warcraft anniversary event happening in patch 11.0.5. What's there to do? What do we get? How do we get it? And how's the FOMO looking? You can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more coverage, and catching me wherever I'm live. First off, when's the event? It's not confirmed, but data mining points out the event begins Friday, November 1st at 10 a.m. The team has already said the event is going to go on during November and December, so we've got a pretty good ballpark guess, and feel free to set some time aside for the festivities. When you log in, or maybe right at 10 a.m., you're going to get a quest called Another Timely Invitation, directing you to go to the Caverns of Time via portal. Characters as low as level 10 will see this quest, and from the looks of it, can participate in most of the available activities, including the outdoor content. So yeah, you can send your level 10s out to take on Doomwalker, it's gonna be just fine. And I'm not even being sarcastic, I'd love to see if level 10 twinks can top DPS. The new Blackrock Depths raid appears to have a level requirement of 20, although again this is just data mining. But in general, with such a low level requirement for most of these activities, it might be possible for starter accounts to also participate, meaning everyone's invited to celebrate, whether you're a current player, if you're just watching from the sidelines, or if you've never played WoW ever. Let's rewind a bit and get to what there is to do in the anniversary event area, which is located just outside the Caverns of Time. A carnival's been set up and tons of characters from Warcraft's history have shown up. As I'm going through, you might see some familiar characters, but I'm going to leave it up to you to explore and talk with them and see what they have to say. Despite being in a desert area, the vibe is very festive. Think of some of the heritage quest lines you might have played through, and that'll give you an idea of how I felt walking through here. You know, talking to characters and seeing how they've been doing, what they've been up to, and so on and so forth. At the center are the most important parts of this event, vendors who will sell all the goodies available. You'll be spending time walking badges to buy a mix of old and new stuff, as well as these bronze celebration tokens to buy all new stuff, and we'll get more into that later in the guide. Let's just keep going on with the what to do. Around the area, there are a few events that rotate in a cycle, and you'll know what's happening at the top of the screen. NPCs will also announce events shortly before they start. By the way, when you're looking at this, I don't have like the best footage because I'm testing after the initial PTR crowd came and went, so this is all gonna look kind of depressing, but here it goes. Mount Mania has participants show up and try to match the mount displayed by the host. The format should be plenty familiar to some. Story mode is one of my favorites, where you sit, you hang out, and Lorewalker Cho will share a bit of Warcraft history, and we can participate a bit by cheering and booing and even throwing crap at Cthulhu. Yeah, that's a thing as well. Fashion Frenzy is like an industrial version of Trial of Style, where participants just show up to show off, but they also pick up ribbons and plant these ribbons on the characters whose transmog they like. Whoever has the most ribbons after a few minutes are declared the winners. It's kind of a neat way of getting lots of people to participate in a public space at the same time. And these are just chill events to hang out in, and they're running all the time. So I imagine that the best times to participate in the fashion show and the mount off will be early. So before players settle back into their old routines, just try to jump in on these like maybe the first and second week. There's also an array of solo stuff to do, like riding a balloon, dressing up as your pet, and ice skating. Basically lots of things you'll want to take screenshots of. What might be the most fun, although we probably have to wait until this goes live to check out, there's going to be a special investigation like Secrets of Azeroth to participate in. Also dotted in the area are a series of more traditional events and to-dos that start here in the hub. There's a major quest that asks us to participate in all sorts of activities, and when completed, it gives us a bonus to experience and reputation gains. I should point out that the tooltip says the buff only lasts for 12 hours on top of the passive 10% bonus that we'll have, but to me this doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all. I'm just going to presume this is a PTR thing, I'm just going to tell you what I see, and that my expectation is that we should be able to enjoy a nice beefy experience boost without having to jump through hoops to get it. Around Tanaris are 3 world bosses, and it seems like you can take these on as early as level 10 as well, like I mentioned earlier. In the event area are a series of meta quests to pick up, like defeating the old school world bosses. Korak's Revenge returns during the event, and there's a quest to complete around. There's an event called Chromie's Codex, and I'm not entirely sure what it entails, but it's a 20-person scenario asking for 3 tanks, 5 healers, and a bunch of DPS. There's a weekly quest to complete this as well. Blackrock Depths is being redone as a 10 to 15 man raid, and a round of vanilla dungeons have been chosen to be a part of the vanilla Time Walking era. We expect the raid will stick around and become part of the Time Walking rotation, but in the meantime, during this anniversary period, there's going to be a quest to run it each week. At least, I hope. On Wowhead, it says the quest can be picked up at level 20, and again, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but it is definitely endgame content, with loot that can drop from bosses, but also this loot can be purchased via vendor. The currency used to buy this gear is difficulty specific. You gotta run Raid Finder for the Raid Finder gear and the currency, normal for normal, heroic for heroic. We'll have to stay tuned for just how much currency can be earned per week or per run to get an idea of how much of this gear can eventually be bought, because some of these pieces, they're pretty cool. And since we're on the topic, let's get to what you can buy and the currency economy. Let's return to where all the NPC vendors are. Treya here is the one who sells the updated Tier 2 gear for all classes. Each set goes for a whopping 80 celebration tokens. It's a lot more than the other rewards. Storekeeper Reginald sells previous anniversary pets. These go for 10 tokens a pop. Over here, the Horde and Alliance PvP vendors for the Korax Revenge event are here as well, taking the usual currencies of Marks of Honor and Time Warp badges. Historian Madi sells the old assortment of anniversary toys from previous years, as well as some new items like the Cold Flame appearances, including this Stanley back piece, a ring cosmetic, balloon, and a Doomlord pet. Boba Dormu is your Time Walking badge dump, selling old and new items, freaking Mohawk grenades, cosmetics, and starter gear for alts. Notary Grably is nearby and straight up sells titles for Time Walking badges, so if you want to be loud and proud about being a classic enthusiast, we already know that, now you have a title to say it too. I wasn't able to manually test everything in the event like the instant stuff, but one could get around 30, maybe 40 of these celebration tokens per week per character. This includes completing weekly content over in Kaz Algar, where your typical routine might score you a chunk of tokens almost passively. Still, the cost of the ensembles makes this a very long-term goal. I mean, like I said, they're a whopping 80 tokens each, but tokens can be traded across the warband, and we're gonna have a full 2 months to farm up all the ensembles if we're going that nuts over it, and my information's incomplete. Like I said, world bosses and the raid or other sources may produce more of these tokens, like the investigation events. What you can expect to do for rewards is to check into Tanaris at the start of the week, pick up the quest you want to do, and knock out the bosses in Tanaris. Complete the other quests that you want to do, including the Chromie's Codex event, Blackrock Depths raid in multiple difficulties, and then do maybe your usual routine over in Kaz Algar. Make sure to return to Tanaris to turn in quests and start buying stuff that you like, and repeat this on as many alts as you like. And at least on one character, you may want to do the investigation event. Personally, I'm going to buy everything I can with the celebration tokens, along with my one favorite ensemble, and then, kind of call it a day. My expectation, though, is that there are going to be more opportunities for tokens we just haven't fully discovered yet, so I admit I'm running on faith that there's no FOMO to be found here, and at worst, these will be obtainable another year. That's about all we've learned so far, and I think this will be a lot of fun. Lots of opportunities to, push buttons and beat up bad guys, and, just as important, chill. Vibe and take a breath and think about what I've been doing for the past 20 years. Anyway, that's the guide. Hope this was informative, and if so, please hit the like button, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.